to fall, jump to fly.
Have you ever wanted to test the limits of human ability? You ever thought, maybe, just maybe, I can do that thing, but didn't necessarily have the will or the skill set to do it? Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to someone who does. He's about this tall, 7 years old, and about 75 pounds. And this is a story of amazing will and amazing skill, but it didn't start that way. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can, but he couldn't. And we'll talk about today how he did. Ladies and gentlemen, that 7-year-old, 75-pound miracle is my son Mason. When he got out of school, he was so excited to simply be out of school for no other reason than school was over. I asked him, I said, what's the best part of your day? He says, we had pizza for lunch. I said, Mace, what else besides lunch? Well, recess was fun. Tell me there's something more than pizza and recess. And as we walk to the car, we come up against this pillar. Now this is a nice 50-degree September afternoon. The pillar's minding its business, we're minding our business. I'm being a father to my son and walking to the vehicle where mommy's waiting patiently. But for some reason, on this trip, he decides that since he's been playing this game at recess, he was going to play with Daddy. He said, Daddy, want to see something? I said, sure. So here's this pillar. Here's the child. About there. There we go. Here's the pillar. Here's the child. Not too much bigger than the pillar. So I said, Mason, what's the game? He says, well, at recess, we like to jump and sit on top of the pillar. But today, I'm going to go over. And I said, where are you now? He said, yeah, watch this. So I step back and I watch him. And he has to get himself ready. So he says, Daddy, wait. Takes off his book bag. Here. I said, okay, you're serious about this, huh? Oh yeah, I'm going to do this. So he looks at the pillar and he looks at me. And I said, well, come on. You're going to do it. And he looks at the pillar and he looks at me. And he's like, I'm ready. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So he takes off, bolts, jumps to the pillar, and stops right on top of it. I said, what are you doing? You said you were going to jump over it. But it was anticlimactic. He says, well, this is just what we do at recess. So I said, Mason, if you don't push yourself, you'll never go and see how far you can go. He says, okay. So he backs up again, looks at me, still holding his bag. He says, you ready? I said, I've been ready. This is your show. Takes off again, runs to the pillar, stops right on top. And at this point, if you couldn't tell, many of you don't know, sometimes I'm a little impatient. I said, Mason, you've got to give it your all to do this. And he says, okay. Goes back again. Pillar, me, and he takes off towards the pillar. I say, go, when you go all the way. He jumps and he goes all the way over. Bam! Lands on his face. Didn't expect to see that one. Now he's crying. So what does the dad do? I'm torn between taking that nurturing role to say, well, come here and give me a hug, which is the first response, and let him actually get the tears out. And right before we just about turned to leave, I said, wait a second. Do it again. And he finally stopped crying and looked at me. He said, again? I said, yes. We're not going to leave until you do it. So he looks at the pillar, he looks at the gate next to the playground, and he decides he's just going to jump the gate for the playground. So he jumps the gate and climbs over, now he's in the playground, and he's looking around, and I said, Mason, the pillar's out here. He's like, I know. I said, Mason, come around and do it again. Do I have to? I said, yes, you have to. So he walks around the fence about 20 feet, comes back, and lines up to this pillar again, and boy, does he look scared at this point. I said, Mace, we're not going to be here all day. Mommy's waiting. Let's go. I'll help you. Takes off, runs to the pillar, and he jumps, and I grab the back of his coat and help him over. Now, the problem with that was he still fell. But this time, he didn't fall on his face, he fell on his butt. He was a little bit better since he fell on his butt. And I was too, because at least I encouraged him to get through it. But is that enough? No, not enough. Daddy places this crazy expectation in his head that he can do it, so we want to see him through. I said, Mace, go do it again. And he backs up, and he looks, he's sure? Yes. He runs, and he goes back to the middle of the pillar. Mason, stop stopping yourself before you go all the way. You'll only end up hurting you and not the pillar. Okay. So he backs up again. And this time, and I mean, I can feel it. I felt it. It's just like that theme song when you hear the music. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. And he takes off. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. Plants his hands. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, doom, lift the leg. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. Ladies and gentlemen, not 5 minutes ago were there tears in his eyes, and he was the most upset, disappointed child in anybody's playground, to just 5 minutes later, with a little encouragement, he learned that after that first jump, and he failed, that if he gave it another shot, that he too could learn to fly. Ladies and gentlemen, don't be afraid to jump. It's an unprecedented feeling when you fail. And something about that failure, somewhere within that failure, lies life's little lessons. And for here, that lesson for little Mason was jump to fail, and then jump to fly. Mr. Postmaster.
Okay.